Right, today I want to look at a question similar to that on the left hand side. So these questions come up quite regularly where we're asked something like the sum of three consecutive even numbers is 384. What is the first number? In order to get towards an answer for that, or to get towards a solution, we do need to set up and solve an algebraic equation. So the first question we need to ask ourselves is, how can we express an even number? Well, we know that 2 is a factor of any even number. If you think about it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on, you're effectively just doing multiples of 2. So 2 is a factor of any even number. That means that 2 times anything, 2n, is always even, as long as n is an integer or a whole number. If 2n is even, then 1 more than that must be odd, because 1 more than any even number is always odd. If we think of 34, 1 more than that, 35 is odd. If you think of 3,852, 1 more than that, 3,853 is odd. So 2n plus 1 would be odd, but 2n plus 2 would be even again. So 2n is even, and 2n plus 2 is also even. The next even number after that would be 2n plus 4. So we've got 3 consecutive even numbers now: 2n, 2n plus 2, and 2n plus 4, because consecutive means after one another. So the consecutive even numbers would be 2n, 2n plus 2, and 2n plus 4. That means that if we consider the word sum, which means that we add them together, and we get 384, we can set up our equation now. So 2n and 2n plus 2 and 2n plus 4 all add up to 384. If I squish all the bits together that I can, or gather the like terms, as we should call it, I know that I have 6n plus 6. If you need to pause at any point to double check any of these bits or think about where they've come from, please do so. I've got 2n, 2n and 2n, that's 6n. I've got a 2 and a 4, they add together to give me 6. So 6n plus 6 equals 384. And now it's really straightforward. The first thing to do, we need to try and figure out what n is. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. That leaves me with 6n is 378. Then I need to divide both sides of the equation by 6 to leave me with n is equal to 63, which doesn't quite answer the question that I've been asked, because if n is equal to 63, I can now use that to figure out what 2n is, that first even number that I started with. Well, 2 lots of 63 is 126. So I think 126 is my answer, but I should always double check. The sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 384. So in theory, if I double check this, 126 add 128 add 130 should give me an answer that looks kind of familiar from the question. And it does, it gives me 384, so I know that the first number in that pattern, the first of these 3 consecutive even numbers, must be 126.